Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. We're your boys. We always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host Nicholas Playlog. And last night, folks, a little bit of a surprising move by the Toronto Blue Jays. Eduardo Escobar coming in on a minor league deal. Ross Atkins made some quotations yesterday talking about how if there was going to be additions, there had to be subtractions. He made an addition, everybody, so we're going to break that down, give our reaction, give our 2 cents. Please comment your thoughts down below, hit the like, smash the subscribe button. Let's flash over to Robert Murray, who was the first one who broke this news. This was at 10:51 last night, so Ross Atkins burning a little bit of the midnight oil to go out and get his guy.
I was snoozing a little bit. I was getting ready for bed. I was settling into dreamland, and then this move comes out.
Was this from your dreams? You know, no, like the dream that we were waiting for?
No, not at all. I mean, it wasn't worth getting out of bed and starting a podcast right away. That's how I value how much excitement I have for a player.
We waited for the morning.
Yeah, I was like, this is a morning thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, this came out, Robert Murray. We didn't know right away whether this would be a major league contract or a minor league contract, because obviously those two things are very different, right? But Shai Davidi, our guy out here, he's coming out and saying that, yes, it is confirmed. They are in agreement on a minor league deal pending a physical per source. So with that being said, now that we know that it's a minor league deal, first initial thoughts to the reaction of Eduardo Escobar.
100%. Like, I'm totally cool with it, right? That one detail changes literally everything, right? And I saw immediately when Robert Murray was coming out and talking about this, how the Blue Jays were getting very, very close. They were going to lock him down. Everyone on Twitter was like, oh my God, like, what are we doing, Ross? It was cup holders, and now it's this.
Dude, I think I texted in the group chat, oh my God, more dumpster diving? Right. Great.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
And I understand, right? Because, again, like, this isn't the first time that Ross Atkins is, you know, I don't want to be rude to Eduardo Escobar here, but kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. But when you put him on a minor league deal, it doesn't matter anymore, because you have 3 options where you can either bring him up to the majors or send him down to the minors again. And it doesn't hurt you in that regard. So the minor league deal for me is literally everything. And the fact that he is on that, I'm totally cool with it.
Okay. So let me bring this up. Before we talk about Eduardo Escobar's actual stats, because I want to jump off what you said right there. We have him on a minor league deal. We're going to use him as this kind of like option guy, as this depth guy in the Blue Jays system. Is that going to hurt these prospect chances to getting to the major leagues? So I know that you were kind of talking about hoping to see some of these prospects come up. That's going to probably hurt their chances of seeing some big league action this year.
Yeah, I do think so, right? Like, we were discussing off camera here, but it kind of feels a little bit like the Toronto Blue Jays with all of these infield moves, and there's been a lot of them, right? We have just a plethora of infielders right there, second baseman especially, right? It feels like the Toronto Blue Jays are protecting a few of those top prospects. And we're talking about Orelvis Martinez. We're talking about Addison Barger. We're talking about a few of those other guys in the top 15 right there that could potentially come up and could own a second base or a third base spot at some point in their career. By going out and acquiring all of these dudes like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and holding on to Santiago Espinal and having Justin Turner come in and then also having Eduardo Escobar come in, it feels like you are kind of distancing yourself from bringing them up to the majors in case, you know, shit hits the fan and, there goes Bo and there goes David Schneider and there goes Vlad and they're all hurt. Well, now we can bring up Escobar and we bring up a few other guys and we can hold them down there so we don't have to start their clock.
Yeah.
Am I onto something here?
You're right. Now, do you think that's the right move to be making? Because yeah, like, cool, we can push these minor leaguers that are almost big league ready and they could break out, they could be great guys, but let's wait a little bit and let's get an Eduardo Escobar, who we'll see in a little bit his stats aren't the sexiest.
I think that the Blue, like, this has been the Blue Jays mentality for a while, and we kind of saw the exact same thing happen with Guerrero.
Yeah,
I remember like that whole scenario where it was like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the whole talk was he's ready to go, and Blue Jays kept kicking the can of bringing him up down the road because they wanted that additional year, and they got it. I mean, now, 5 years down the line, I'm kind of happy that they did it because it's another year of Vladdy. Yeah. So right now, me, like, present day, is thinking, come on, dude, like, I want to see Addison. I want to see Orelvis Martinez. I want to see these prospects come up and show what they can do, because just by looking at the tape and looking at the statistics, they're ready to go. But if it does mean like kind of extending that window of having these guys a little bit longer and not necessarily starting their clock, if we don't think that we can really go for it this year, then you know what? Maybe future me 5 years down the line is going to be looking back at this and saying, okay, smart move.
Yeah, there's a couple benefits of keeping these guys down there, like you said right there, but also trade bait. You know what I mean? Like
that's also true.
Keeping the clocks at frozen right now so that come trade deadline, rather than having only 2 or 1 options, because they're going to, realistically, they're coming up and they're fighting for a job right now. They're not going to be guaranteed playing time. So you might be setting them down. You're going to be ruining their development. You know what I mean? Just like interrupting that.
If you have to send them up,
if you have to send them down, send them up, send them down. They're sitting on the bench, right? You'd rather have them get full playing time in AAA or AA. So that's another benefit too. But keeping those clocks frozen on their contracts, and then that's a more sexy appeal to another team that's like, hey, I've got my 5th ranked prospect, my 2nd ranked prospect, and we haven't even started their clocks yet. You can bring them up at any moment. That's a lot more value right there.
Yeah, no, I hear you, dude. It feels like we're really just trying to get insurance right now for this year specifically, and I think it all ties into everything about this being kind of an evaluation year. Like, even though the Toronto Blue Jays are supposed to be competitive and they want to go for it, I feel like they're still evaluating, like, how ready are we? How close are we to potentially going to the World Series, right? Like, how many moves are we away?
Because if they are close, if we see in the regular season, like, oh, crap, Vladdy's breaking out, all the things that we want to go right is going right.
Yeah.
And then you have Anaravas Martinez or Addison Barcher just annihilating in AAA or AA. Their OPS is at 1,000. They're doing what David Schneider was doing, man. Like, they were just forcing their way to the big league level. Then I think, okay, we're just a couple more pieces away from being the most dangerous team in baseball.
Sure.
Screw it. Let's get Addison Barcher. There's an opening at 3rd. IKF's great, but Addison Barcher needs a chance.
Totally,
I can see that happening.
Totally. They are going to have a hard time, though, because Eduardo Escobar is going to rip the top off the baseball this year. A little bit of an exaggeration, folks. Kind of coming off of a bad year last year, everybody. This is kind of the image, I think, that triggered a lot of Toronto Blue Jays fans when you flashed over to the Baseball Savant and you just saw a bunch of blue or just like not qualified blue.
So flashback here.
Yeah, that was his 2022 numbers. And actually in 2022, if you just look at the overall slash, like finish with a 725 OPS there, that's not bad. And for somebody who could potentially come up and help you if you ever have an injury, I will take that. The last year numbers in 2023, it did feel like the age was really starting to show, and I don't know if we brought this up yet, but he is 35 years old right now. He's definitely getting up there. The one thing to his credit, though, even last year when he had a 613 OPS, he still was really good against left-handed pitchers. He is a switch hitter, folks, so he goes to both sides. Against righties, not so good. Really not so good. But against lefties, that's kind of where he's made his money his entire career. We were looking back at some of the All-Star years because this is a former All-Star from 2019. We were looking back at 2021 when he was still really good at baseball. And he does do damage against lefties, to his credit.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that the Blue Jays were looking for was a way to get the lefties out of the lineup against left-handed pitching. Granted, I think they were more looking for an outfielder because you have 2 lefties in the outfield in Kevin Kiermaier and Dalton Varsho. One of them's going to have to still be in the lineup, right? Maybe you can put David Schneider in there to play left field for Dalton Varsho one day. But, this gives you another option coming off the bench late game if it comes to a scenario where he is on the Major League roster, because he won't start on the Major League roster. I highly doubt it. But if he's up, maybe he can be used as a bench bat. Like that's all I see his potential being is off the bench. He's subbing in for someone to face a lefty.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's okay on a minor league deal, right?
Yeah,
like we
fine.
We don't need you to be the guy. Obviously, if he did come up and he kind of wowed some people, that'd be amazing. But really, it feels like this move is just insurance for some big injuries. And again, like we talked about, not having to bring up the prospects in one of those situations.
Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. But guys, you guys let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you like this Eduardo Escobar signing? We want to hear you sound off in the comments.
Yo, you didn't actually say, do you like this?
I mean, for a minor league deal, yeah, I mean, it's fine. it's good protection. It's safety net, bro.
Like honestly, like I kind of like it too. Just like it's a veteran guy. He can come up. Like I don't think he's gonna be so terrible if somebody gets injured, and it's just insurance.
He might play 30 at-bats max. Like it's not a detrimental signing that's gonna ruin the Blue Jays. Literally. It's gonna support them in ways for roster management. So that's it, man.
Completely agree, guys. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like, smash the subscribe button. Also, $3 a month, become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to all of our Patreon members and our YouTube members too. All of you guys are amazing.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And as always,
go Jays, go!